Nordic countries consistently rank at the top of the global happiness index. And it's not that surprising if we consider their high standards of living. Excellent healthcare, education, a strong social safety net. Yeah, okay, all those sound pretty damn great. I can't lie. But there is a less shiny aspect that is not talked about too often. I've now traveled to all the Nordic countries, minus the incredibly tiny populated Faroe Islands, and I've noted time and time again just how difficult it can be to make friends in the Nordics, and frankly, how lonely it can get if you've just relocated here. But there is one country that stands out on this list. Sweden. When surveyed, only 33% of foreigners said that they made a close Swedish friend. When asked how long it takes to connect with Swedes, the second most common answer was a year or more, with most foreigners stating they have yet to make a friend. And it makes sense. Swedes are notoriously reserved and it can be incredibly hard to crack through that shell. But as someone who has spent the last couple of years researching Scandinavia to write the book Sex Before Coffee, I knew that even before stepping foot onto the Swedish soil and talking to people, that the reasons went way deeper than that. And I'm going to go through all of those reasons, so stay tuned. But first, I was curious to know, how do Swedes feel about their social circle? I mean, do they have a hard time making friends, and do they actually feel lonely? I went to Stockholm, the more reserved capital, and Gothenburg, its friendlier counterpart, to find out just that.
Do you think Sweden is a difficult place to make friends?
Yes. When you start to talk to people, they are nice, yeah, but people tend to like stick to their own group. Yeah.
How many Swedish friends do you have at the...
1, 2, 2. Have you had issues finding friends here?
God, yeah. It's so hard. And I don't know, I'm quite extroverted. I tend to get on with most people.
Мы тут где-то около 13 лет живем.
У вас есть вообще друзья шведы?
У меня больше, да, 3 человека.
По шведским стандартам это уже много.
How would you say in your experience it is making friends in Sweden?
It's pretty difficult, especially the older that you get.
At least for me, 25 plus, it started getting more difficult, like finding new friends and stuff. I still have my core base of friends. It's not very often that I get new friends or like talk to strangers.
Do you have a lot of friends here that are Swedish, would you say?
I do, but people are still friends with their childhood friends, so it's kind of like cheating almost, you know, because I also still have them.
No, I think you can definitely make friends in Sweden, but I think Swedish people are shy. They're a little bit closed up, and a lot of people, they have their fixed, you know, the friendship circle from college or even before that.
I don't very often make friends of like, oh, I met this guy on the subway or like at the gym.
I'd say you and your friends, some of you are hugely different, but
Yeah,
you're still
true,
like,
yeah.
these are my best friends, and I don't think you've ever considered, should they, not that they shouldn't be, I love your friends, but I don't think you've ever considered, should they still be my best friends? Are we still aligned in values
That's a good
and
point.
hobbies or anything like that?
Yeah.
But because you've got so much shared history, none of you can. It's very common in Sweden to meet grown adults who are still hanging out with people they were at high school with. Yeah, it's
My
less.
dad still hangs out with his high school friends, like when he was a kid, quite often.
Do you think people genuinely don't need new friends, or they're just nervous and shy around talking to new people?
They totally need friends. I think Sweden is the most loneliest country in the. Some studies showed that it was. We need people.
We need friends. Do you personally, this is a sad question, but do you feel like you feel lonely, or do you know a lot of people that are?
I would say yes.
I have 8,000
I think,
friends.
Yeah, that's because of the society, how it's built, and I think everyone feels lonely sometimes.
I think maybe we look happy, but I don't think we are happy.
Yeah, I'm becoming happier. I've struggled a lot with mental health issues in the past.
Yeah.
It's a taboo in Sweden to talk about, like, I kind of feel lonely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that everybody wants to look good. It's like everybody's biggest secret, but everybody
I don't feel lonely at the moment, I have to say. I think that maybe I'm a bit afraid to feel lonely when I'm older. When I look at my parents, like they don't have that much social engagement anymore. But they don't feel lonely. I think they're quite pleased with their situation. But I'm afraid I'm gonna feel lonely.
I don't have the feeling of being lonely, but I would say that I wish that I had more sense of community, even with my friends, and I'm so happy with them. It's still like we are our little islands, or our separate islands. I think that's the individualism that is coming really like into place, that you think first about like my schedule and then we'll see if I can fit you in my schedule.
I think that Sweden has the biggest number in the world procentually in depression, but I think it's because we kind of have it too good when it comes to safety, and we don't know what pure happiness is, and it's just become a...
Honestly, I don't know if that's because of not interacting with people very much. I think it's more so the weather and the constant darkness 80% of the year. Not seeing the sun is probably the biggest factor to the depression numbers in Sweden. But we are reserved. But I don't think people have an issue talking to people within their area of working or whatever, like the workspace. Sorry, I hit the mic. The workspace, I don't think anyone has problems talking to any of the colleagues. I don't think people have trouble talking to people in their class, in university or whatever. But I mean, yeah, you don't go and talk to random people in a cafe or in a park or on the subway. But when the fuck do you ever do that in other countries and you're not considered half insane for doing so? Huh? I don't know where the fuck you guys are from, but if you talk to someone randomly on the bus, that's just weird. Like, why are you talking to me? Right? It doesn't matter. It's not that it's Sweden. It's just weird everywhere, I think. I'll be honest. It's just weird everywhere. I think it is. Some of you say, why not? Because, you don't know this. You don't know this person. Like, you don't know the first thing about this person. Like, at least if you're in university, you know something about the person because you are at the same fucking class and you have some interest. Or if you work at the same job, you know something about the person because you're working at the same job. But if you talk to random people outside at the bus stop or at a cafe, you don't know shit, right? You're just talking to talk. It's kind of weird, Like, I would say that's a global thing. That's not a Swedish thing, honestly.